The Department of Education in Gauteng suspects over 30 schools in the province have been disrupted by teachers on a go-slow, while others have forced schools to close. Reports are that these schools began their disruptions yesterday in solidarity with Klipspruit School over the appointment of a black principal instead of a coloured one. Now, the department has been informed that scores of majority coloured schools in Gauteng are not having any teaching and learning happening today as part of supporting this school where the MEC started intervening last week. Well, we're joined on the phone line by Karis Pretorius from the Patriotic Association of South Africa, PASA spokesperson, for more on the story. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, just talk us through a PASA stand regarding a Klipspruit school and the appointment of a black principal.
All right, well, just so that we can quantify, I'm phoning from the Patriots for Equality. That is an organization that has stemmed from the situation at Klipspruit West School. So just so that we can get some clarity in regards to that. Could you just ask me the question again? Sorry.
Well, thanks for clarifying who you're representing, Karis. I just wanted to know, from your standpoint of where you're coming from, the organization that you actually represent, what are the parents' concerns regarding having a black principal at Klipspruit School?
Well, you know, the thing for me right now is, and it's becoming quite tedious with regards to the Department of Education a dead horse, which is the race card. And I think that right now we need to move away from that and actually focus on the fact that this is not about race. This is not about a black principal coming into a colored school. This is about the fact that the Department of Education did not follow the processes and procedures. They are using this race card as an excuse for them to get away from the fact that there are things that are currently not making sense to anyone when you look at the situation as it currently stands. So that is the one thing that we need to clarify. We have sent a resolution through to the Department of Education based on the fact that we have concerns when it comes to the addressing of the situation. Parents are currently not happy with the fact that there is now a district official at the school in basically a watchdog position. So that is where we're currently standing.
And what would you like to see the Department of Education actually doing to handle this matter better?
Well, the one thing that they need to do is they need to ensure that they follow processes, that they empower SGBs to ensure that they can do their job properly when it comes to not just the management and the processes at the school, but also when it comes to them dealing with the selection process in any environment, all right, whether it be for a teacher or whether it be for a principal. SGBs are not being empowered by the department, and that is where the crux of the matter is at this point.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here on the ground report. That was Karis Pretorius. We are now joined by Steve Mabona, the Gauteng Education Department spokesperson, for more on this story. A very good morning to Mr. Mabona. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, just hearing from Karis, there are some concerns that proper processes were not followed by the department in appointing a black principal at Klipspruit, and also that the SGBs are not being empowered. What's your response to that?
No, the statement is very unfortunate because I don't understand what she means when she says SGBs are not empowered, because the SGBs appointed the very same principal. The SGB, the very same SGB that we dissolved, appointed this principal. And the SGB is a representation of parents there in that SGB. So I don't understand when she says SGBs are not empowered, because what happened there, SGB said through the interviews, they interviewed the principal, they recommended to the district, and district did not change that decision. They sent to head office, HOD did not change the decision of the SGP. So I don't understand when she says the unprocedural and the department does not empower SGPs. SGPs are empowered to appoint the principal, and that's where we stand. I mean, this issue, we have interacted with the structures. And they were there when we gave them opportunity to raise their issues. And we said we need to give an opportunity to the MEC to sit and peruse the documentation and make sure that he satisfies himself that there's nothing unprocedural that was done or if there's something unprocedural, then he will be in a position to can detect that and say, yes, indeed, I hear your concern, and here's the outcome. We are not at that level. We did not pronounce on the outcome whether we are continuing with the appointment as taking in cognizance of the issues that were raised by the communities, issues that were raised by the staff, by the SGB members as well, those that are disgruntled. So I don't understand why would they now jump the gun and want to go to the community, mobilize the other schools to support. I don't know what informs them to do that.
Well,
so that's where we're at.
Just looking at the current schools that are being affected by the go-slow, we have an estimate of about 38 schools. Is that figure correct? Or how many schools exactly are being affected?
No, for us, we cannot take responsibility of the numbers because we have not announced those numbers. Those numbers are announced by them, the civic and the business forum. So probably they are better placed to can tell you how many. But for us as a department, what we are doing, we are monitoring the situation just to check on all the schools in the area. They will be reporting. They will be giving us reports this afternoon. We are meeting the principals to say how are you doing in your school, what is happening, and all that. So by that time, we should be in a position to know that in the schools, whether probably how many schools we have that are on a go-slow. But by indication now, we have schools that are learners are attending, and the attendance is very satisfactory. So what we'll be doing is just to make sure that we monitor and come up probably later in the afternoon to say, according to our information, school performed in this function, in this fashion, today or even from yesterday. That's what we'll be doing today.
Well, thank you so much for that clarity. That was Steve Mabona for the Gauteng Education Department spokesperson, just giving us more insight into the go-slow taking place at Klipspruit High School.